Hey everybody, I still hadn't got my Geneva Bible, so we'll wait and see if it comes tomorrow. Chapter 9. And as Jesus passed by, he saw a man which was blind from his birth. And his disciples asked him, saying, Master, who did sin, this man or his parents, that he is born blind? And Jesus answered, Neither has this man sinned or his parents, but that the works of God should be made manifest in him. I must work the works of him who sent me while it is day. Night comes when no man can work. As long as I am in the world, I am the light of the world. When he had thus spoken, he spat on the ground and made clay of the spittle. And he anointed the eyes of the blind man with the clay, and said unto him, Go wash in the pool of Siloam, which is by interpretation sent. He went his way therefore and washed and came seeing. The neighbors therefore and they which before had seen him who was blind said, Is not this he who sat and begged? Some said, This is he. Others said, He is like him. But he said, I am he. Therefore said they unto him, How were your eyes opened? He answered and said, A man who is called Jesus made clay, and anointed my eyes, and said unto me, Go to the pool of Siloam and wash. And I went and washed, and there received sight. Then they said unto him, Where is he? He saith, I not know. They brought to the Pharisees him who aforetime was blind, and it was the Sabbath day when Jesus made the clay and opened his eyes. Then again the Pharisees also asked him how he had received his sight. He said unto them, He put clay upon my eyes, and I washed, and do see. Therefore said some of the Pharisees, This man is not of God, because he keeps not the Sabbath day. Others said, How can a man who is a sinner do such miracles? And there was division among them. They say unto the blind man again, What do you say of him who has opened your eyes? He said he is a prophet. But the Jews did not believe concerning him that he had been blind and received his sight, until they called the parents of him who had received his sight. And they asked him, saying, Is this your son, who you say was born blind? And how then does he now see? His parents answered them and said, We know that this is our son, and that he was born blind. But by what means he now sees, we not know, or who has opened his eyes, we not know. He is of age, ask him, he shall speak for himself. These words spoke his parents because they feared the Jews. For the Jews had agreed already that if any man did confess that he was Christ, he should be put out of the synagogue. Therefore said his parents, He is of age, ask him. Then again called they the man who was blind, and said unto him, Give God the praise. We know that this man is a sinner. He answered and said, Whether he is a sinner or no, I know not. One thing I know is that whereas I was blind, now I see. Then said they to him, What did he to you? How opened he your eyes? He answered them, I have told you already, and you did not hear. Wherefore would ye hear it again? Will ye also be his disciples? Then they reviled him and said, You are his disciple, but we are Moses' disciples. We know that God spoke unto Moses, As for this fellow, we know not from whence he is. The man answered and said unto them, Why, herein is a marvelous thing, that ye know not from whence he is, and yet he has opened my eyes. Now we know that God hears not sinners, but if any man be a worshipper of God, and does his will, him he hears. Since the world began, was it not heard that any man opened the eyes of one who was born blind? If this man were not of God, he could do nothing. They answered and said unto him, You are altogether born in sins, and do you teach us? And they cast him out. Jesus heard that they had cast him out, and when he had found him, he said unto him, Do you believe on the Son of God? He answered and said, Who is he, Lord, that I might believe on him? And Jesus said unto him, You have both seen him, and it is he who talks with you. And he said, Lord, I believe. And he worshipped him. And Jesus said, For judgment I have come into the world, they that which see not might see, and that they which see might be made blind. And some of the Pharisees which were with him heard these words, and said to him, Are we blind also? Jesus said unto them, If ye were blind, ye should have no sin. But now you say, We see, therefore your sin remains. Amen.